Welcome to Center Heist and Steel Curtain Productions. Please hit the likes and the subscribe down below in your right hand corner. This is a special video. Um, Again, it's on the news that came out today in today's press conference with Mike Tomlin for the Weekly. He actually released the news that Matt Canada was relieved of his duties. This was long coming. Um, thank God you can get out and toast to it. It's evident from what he said. He was asked very briefly who made the decision. He said it was himself, and really it was quite clear cut. I mean, I've seen this back in when Matt Canada, I think he's been here 4 years now. Right at the very beginning, I thought this was a huge mistake and didn't like what I was seeing in his repertoire. His playbook's considerably small, and once you've seen a couple plays, you've seen it all. And it was to the point, like I say, I don't know how you get your most talented receiver not targeted, and then your number three is the one you target, and he's got butterfingers, and his feet just are always out from under him. So anyhow, it was just unacceptable. I thought, I was hoping this was going to be done a lot sooner. However, Mike Tomlin kept staying in his corner, doing the team thing of defending him. You kind of get it to some degree, but however, the cries are out there. All of us were as Steelers fans were crying for a change, and it was um, quite persistent and obvious when you seen the fields. It was going into every building that they were in. You would see signs in different football fields. It was right across all the Steelers nation wanted this to transpire. And anyway, he said he made the decision, and I'm sure he did do that after when you seen the chirp starting with Harris, um, Dante Johnson, and a few other players. I'm sure that Pickens probably they had some chirps in it too. You could tell they were all quite unhappy on this, as far as part of that front, especially the offense. When the only bright spot you had was Warren, you can't run off of 10 points a game. And I think the final straw was this weekend when you have Watson injured from Cleveland Browns. That gives you a very substantial edge going up against a backup. However, I mean, Cleveland's stacked. Don't get me wrong. That's quite a stacked team. Great. I mean, they're well-rounded. I called them for being number one in that division. Now they probably won't, running off a backup. But anyway, when you can't produce more than 10 points, you got a major problem. And I think the cup overflowed this weekend when we couldn't gather more than 10 points and beat a backup quarterback. Our own starter couldn't create more offense. So that tells you that the play calls, I mean, and then you're going to Dante Johnson in clutch. That's your third receiver, number three. And really, in the clutch, you think you would be going to Pickens at this point, and he never did. He barely got looked at. So this is clearly a messed up situation, playbook wise, and it's resolved. Celebrate, get out your drinks, toast to Matt Canada being gone. Yeehaw. However, I wish him the best. Nothing against the human being. I wish him well in his next endeavor. I'm sure it will not be an NFL endeavor. However, I believe he's at the college level, and he probably should stay that way. But good luck to you, Matt Canada. So now that we have Sullivan and Faulkner taking over, not getting a coordinator brought in yet, so they're evidently going to test these two guys to see how they do, and if either one of them qualifies and may be able to handle taking over the job permanently. This to me looks like it is a trial run. Had to be done. It's kind of scary where it's halfway through the season. I think we should have done it soon, pulled the trigger sooner. There were signs we can't get more, 10, 13 points. It's not a good thing. So we'll see. Well, Sullivan as QB, I would coach. I would assume he may be doing the play calling, and they say he has some experience play calling. He was a play offensive coordinator for another club, and Faulkner also, I would imagine, will be taking part of that role. So it's going to be a matter of who takes the role, and do they end up getting it in the off season permanently? But yeah, I mean, we were hanging on a thread, losing our playoff opportunity, and we're just hanging by our teeth right now at a last ditch chance. So it definitely had to be done. I would have liked sooner, but it wasn't. But it is done. So I assume that these two, from my perspective, can't do any worse than Matt Canada did. So let's hope that they can pull this team out of the mud and get them, firing on full cylinders offensively, and use the appropriate candidates and have an actual playbook. A real NFL playbook would be nice. So let's all get excited and get behind the Steelers. This is something the Steelers are not known for doing. When you look at their history, they always back their players and their coaches, no matter what. And Tomlin did do that. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was Cleveland this weekend, being arch rivals, and your starter can't outplay the backup. We got a problem, right? That just unacceptable. It was the perfect chance to pounce on Cleveland, and we blew it. So that's great news. We'll see what happens, what they can do with it, and Tomlin was also asked about Pickett, and he supports Pickett 100%, says he's a hard worker. So sounds to me, and I would have assumed that anyway, that this wasn't the quarterback's issue. This was the coordinator's issue. Just no playbook and making the wrong choices. So let's get behind him. And I think the bottom dollar, I think Tomlin knew he was going to lose the locker room if he didn't make a move, because the chirping has started. Once you lose the locker room, then you must clean house, because Tomlin probably would have been gone too. So, with that being said, go Steelers Nation, go. Let's hope that we can now get the steel curtain to where it belongs and maybe actually close on the opponents. We'll see. We got a chance, but we're going to have to win every game from here on in. So, that being said, tell me what you thought of I'm sure, I've looked at it, and like Stephen A., he pretty much said it the way I say it. It was long overdue. Long overdue. Should have happened a long time ago. And I know, like I said, they don't like to do this until the off season, but this is a first. So it had to be pretty bad. And it was pretty bad. So leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Be respectful, because we will not even take a look at anything that's unacceptable. So, steel curtain draws here. Well, hopefully it will draw here and will work, and we'll see a solid defense again, because really this has been on the running game, Warren a lot, and our defensive line I think, have really been the spots that have kept our success. So, we'll catch you in the next episode. I just wanted to get this out to you. So I would have had it out sooner. I had to do 3 retakes, unfortunately. And this news broke in the press conference, the weekly press conference at 11 something Pittsburgh time, I believe. And it was a great move. I think it had to be done. And hopefully they can salvage the season. So we shall catch you after the Bengals game. Hopefully we're in the same situation, a backup quarterback. So don't get your hopes up. Be very cautious. This is going to be interesting. This is not an actual situation where you got a proven offensive coordinator from the NFL. So this is under 2 coaches, a little lower down. We'll see how it goes, and let's hope that it goes well. So we'll catch you after the Bengals game. Don't get your hopes up, but it shouldn't be any worse than what it was with Matt Canada. At least we know at the end of the season we can fix it one way or the other if these two don't do it. Thank you for joining me, and we will catch you after the Bengals game on Sunday, and God bless you.